Hello, friend, and welcome to Inside the Dark. Thank you for joining me. A Miami resident made a disturbing discovery on April 26th of 2025. She found a toddler walking in the parking lot of her apartment complex, all alone. But that wasn't the only disturbing thing. As she approached the 3-year-old child, she could see that the baby had dried blood smeared on her face and clothes. Then she realized she recognized the toddler and took her to the child's grandmother, who lived in the complex. The child's grandmother was shocked to learn that her grandbaby was wandering outside alone, when she should have been with her mother, and was no doubt terrified to see she was covered in blood. So when she couldn't reach her grandbaby's mother, she panicked and contacted police. When police arrived on scene, they said they spoke to the 3-year-old little girl, who told them that her mom was with Joy, and she was hit on the head, and she was sleeping. But what she wasn't able to tell police was that Joy was her mother's ex-boyfriend, and he had been stalking her mother and putting air tags on her car so he could track her. But it wouldn't be long before police would learn that the toddler's 24-year-old mother, Maria Garcia Molina, had filed a restraining order against her ex, Joy Nath, back in November of 2024, after just 5 months of dating, and that he had followed her and confronted her and her new boyfriend at a local mall just days before her precious baby girl was found, wandering alone, covered in dried blood. When police began their search for Maria, they looked in her car that was still in the parking lot where her baby girl was found. And they said they found blood on the front passenger seat. When they went into her car, they found Maria, deceased, covered in blankets on the floor of the back seat. She had been stabbed multiple times in her neck, torso, and arms. As police processed the crime scene, it began getting dark outside, and police said they noticed a black Lexus with the headlights off pull into the parking lot. So they stopped the vehicle, and inside was Maria's ex, Joy Nath, returning to the scene of the crime. As they spoke to him, police said they could see that he had scratches and bruises on his face, neck, and arms. And he told them that he had breakfast with Maria and her daughter that morning, and he was there to return her belongings he had to her. In his car, police found Maria's purse, her cell phone, and her ID cards. He was taken into custody and charged with second-degree murder and child abuse without great bodily harm. Maria's 3-year-old daughter was found to have no physical injuries.
Disturbing new details coming to light now in the stabbing death of a South Florida woman. Her body was found in her car over the weekend in southwest Miami-Dade.
The woman's ex-boyfriend is charged with second-degree murder and faced a judge this morning. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench has been pouring through court documents and reports on what he's learned.
New court documents show some alarming allegations. The victim claimed that her ex-boyfriend was persistently stalking her, and she worried that could escalate into violence.
So you were arrested for 1 count of second-degree murder and 1 count of child abuse.
Joy Chandra Nath is accused of taking the life of his 24-year-old ex-girlfriend, Maria Camila Garcia Molina. Investigators say her 3-year-old daughter was found wandering around a parking lot of the Twin Lakes complex on Saturday afternoon with dried blood on her face. And Garcia Molina was found stabbed to death in back of a car.
It's a shame that this young girl has to go through that. and the family, and now a little girl is without a mom.
Family members say Nath had a history of stalking Garcia Molina after they broke up last November, and she obtained a temporary restraining order. In this petition for an injunction against Nath, Garcia Molina made these claims. In late January, she noticed Nath driving behind her, and he followed her and parked behind her, and she feared for her safety. Nath also reportedly took chocolates and flowers to the victim's workplace. And Nath also later told her, "I left something on your car," and she found an Apple AirTag attached to her vehicle. And the day before Garcia Molina was killed, Nath reportedly followed her to the Dolphin Mall, where he had an altercation with her current boyfriend. Linda Parker, the president and CEO of Women in Distress for Broward, says there has been a huge increase in domestic violence cases statewide.
One of the things that we've really been encouraging survivors is to get with the local domestic violence center so that we can talk through individual cases. If your batterer is such that they're not going to listen to leave you alone, then we need to take different action, and it's time for you to possibly be in a more secure facility.
Parker encourages victims to call the Florida Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-500-1119. That's 1-800-500-1119.
If you suspect that your partner's violence is escalating, it's not going to decrease.
Nath is being held without bond. In a post on social media, the victim's mother said that her daughter was a beautiful, loving woman who had plans and dreams that were taken away too soon.
Tonight, a 3-year-old girl will grow up without her mother after deputies say her ex-boyfriend stabbed her to death in her car. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chelsea Jones. That mother's body was found Saturday in southwest Miami-Dade. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us from TGK, where the man accused of killing her is tonight.
Investigators say this little girl was found roaming around her own neighborhood by herself with blood on her face and on her clothing. And deputies say that when they were searching for her mom, they found her around the corner from her home and made a very grim discovery. Neighbors of the Twin Lakes complex in southwest Miami-Dade are stunned after 24-year-old Maria Camila Garcia Molina was found stabbed to death in her car Saturday afternoon.
It's horrible. There's no other way to describe it.
According to investigators, they were waved down by Molina's family members after her 3-year-old daughter was found wandering alone near Southwest 144th Street and Southwest 134th Avenue, covered in dried blood. As deputies searched for Molina, they found her car parked around the corner from her home. She was dead in the back seat.
A lot of police presence. Right here, this area was closed off with yellow tape.
According to the arrest report, Molina's daughter told detectives that her mother was with her ex-boyfriend, 29-year-old Joy Chandra Nath, and that her mother was hit in the head and was now sleeping. Molina's family told investigators that Nath stalked her, and she previously filed a temporary restraining order against him. The arrest report also states that on Friday, the defendant had unexpectedly responded to Dolphin Mall, where the victim was with her new boyfriend, and engaged in a verbal altercation with them. Investigators say they discovered the defendant with scratches on his arms, face, and neck. The defendant spontaneously stated that he had the victim's belongings with him and that he was going to return them to her. When police questioned Nath, he told them he met with Molina and her daughter earlier in the day and that he didn't know what happened to her after he saw her, but that he wanted to bring back her belongings. Police arrested Nath after questioning him. Those who live in this community tell us they're rattled by what happened.
Pretty scary for our community because we're not used to this.
Nath is charged with second-degree murder and child abuse, and he's expected to be in bond court tomorrow.
We begin with new details in a deadly stabbing. Police say a woman stabbed by her ex had filed a restraining order against him.
The victim had told police that her ex-boyfriend was stalking her. NBC6 reporter Laura Rodriguez has more on that and what happened in court today. Laura.
Well, in a petition for protection against stalking, the victim told the judge they dated for 5 months and that they broke up in November. Nearly 3 months before she was allegedly killed by her ex-boyfriend, Maria Camila Garcia Molina filed a restraining order against him.
Second-degree murder is considered a dangerous crime.
Court records reveal the 24-year-old reported Joy Nath put an AirTag on her car and that her uncle also spotted him hiding behind a neighbor's trash can. Records show the injunction was dismissed after she did not appear at the February hearing to make the order permanent.
Holding you with no bond.
On Saturday, Miami-Dade Sheriff's deputies say they found Garcia Molina's body on the floor of her car. parked in a visitor spot near her Southwest Miami-Dade home. She was stabbed multiple times.
All I know is that there was a dead girl on the side of my house, like not even 6 feet from my fence. And it's horrible. It's tragic.
Detectives say the investigation began Saturday afternoon when Garcia Molina's 3-year-old daughter was walking around the neighborhood alone with bloodstains on her face and clothes. A resident in the Twin Lakes neighborhood says this is the moment Nath was arrested by deputies. According to the arrest report, Nath returned to the neighborhood, and after he was stopped, he spontaneously told deputies he had the victim's belongings. Are you Joy's mom?
Yeah, Ma.
Yeah? Nath's mother told us she does not speak English well, but his sister later came to the door and did not want to comment.
We don't want to talk to anyone.
And we have made multiple attempts to speak to the victim's family. They did not want to come to the door or speak to us, but the victim's mother did create a GoFundMe page, and on that page she expressed that her daughter was beautiful and very hardworking.
A murder suspect making his first court appearance today after being accused of stabbing his ex-girlfriend to death in front of her 3-year-old. Today we're seeing the video of the dramatic moment when he was arrested. Local 10's Roy Ramos live now in West Miami-Dade with much more. Roy.
Calvin, that suspect now facing a charge of second-degree murder and child neglect. The victim's body was found right here in this parking lot, and it's likely her own 3-year-old daughter who not only witnessed her murder, but that led deputies to finding her.
It's crazy. To me, it's crazy.
New cell phone video obtained by Local 10 capturing the moments a murder suspect is taken into custody after Miami-Dade Sheriff deputies make a grim discovery.
I actually heard some banging, but I guess it was the cops trying to break the window.
Neighbor Millie Perez shocked to find it was right outside of her home, where detectives said the body of 24-year-old Maria Garcia Molina was found inside of her car in the Twin Lakes community off Southwest 137th Avenue and 143rd Street Saturday.
All this was taped up. I had no idea.
Detectives said it was Molina's 3-year-old daughter who was found wandering alone in the community with blood on her face and clothing. 29-year-old Joy Nath faced a Miami-Dade County judge after cell phone video shows him being arrested when deputies said he returned to the crime scene, seen with scratches to his face and arms. Court documents show Nath had a history of stalking his ex-girlfriend. Social media posts show him giving dating advice, and in February of this year, Molina filed a restraining order against him, but it was later dismissed.
Since second-degree murder was considered a dangerous crime, and granting the state's motion for pretrial detention, holding it with no bond.
And I did look into the criminal history of Nath and found that he was already out on a felony bond for grand theft at the time he was arrested and taken into custody by Miami-Dade Sheriff deputies. As for the victim's family in this case, we have reached out to them. In fact, I have got a chance to speak with close relatives who tell me they are asking for their privacy at this time.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Inside the Dark. Take care. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, where I'll be waiting to take you back inside the dark.